Good day, everyone. We are about to present our research project titled Barangay Management System, a tool for efficient resident management in Barangay Malagasang 2F. I'm Gladwyn Magno. Joining me today are my group mates, Jana, Mikaella, Dulog, and Jericho Ordoñez. So let's begin. Chapter 1, Introduction. The background of the study. We observed that manual systems cause delays and make it difficult to retrieve or update records accurately. This inspired us to propose a digital solution, a barangay management system that could centralize data, improve accuracy, and streamline administrative tasks. It's a way to modernize the barangay's workflow while ensuring important information is organized and secure. Next is the statement of the problem. Barangay Malagasang 2F is responsible for managing various administrative tasks, including resident management, issuing documents, and complaint tracking. Without proper record management and relying on manual processes, these tasks can be inefficient, leading to data inaccuracies and slow processing times. Specifically, the requirement gathering phase identified the following pain points, which led to the formulation of the key questions this study seeks to address. The first issue is data fragmentation. Records are scattered across different tools, making the data retrieval inefficient. This kind of disorganization slows down services for residents and makes it hard to maintain updated and consistent records. Now, how can the barangay management system improve the overall management and organization of barangay records, which ensures that data is accurate, up to date, and easily accessible when needed? The second issue is the current process lacks integration. Resident data, certificates, and complaints are managed separately. This separation leads to duplication of work and longer wait times for residents requesting documents or updates. Now, how can the system simplify administrative tasks such as resident and household record keeping, certificate and document issuance, and incident and complaint tracking? Lastly, the third issue is poor data security. Without access control, anyone can modify sensitive files. This increases the risk of errors, unauthorized changes, or even data loss, especially in sensitive cases or personal resident information. Now, how can the system enable role based access control to ensure proper data security and reliability? Now let's head to the objectives of the study. Our main goal is to develop an automated system for the barangay's daily operations. More specifically, we aim to develop a digitalized database system that organizes resident and household information and resident complaints efficiently and ensures data integrity. Second one is to streamline the administrative tasks of the barangay, including resident registration, automatic generation of the documents and certificates, provide demographic tracking, and efficient tracking of incidents and complaints. The third is to implement role-based access control, which allows different levels of user permissions to manage sensitive data. Fourth goal is to evaluate the system's functionality and usability through user testing and feedback. Now let's head to the scope and limitations. The Barangay Management System or BMS aims to provide a centralized platform for barangay officials to manage resident data, streamline administrative tasks, and track complaints. It will be developed using Python and custom Tkinter framework for the graphical user interface or GUI. The system will be modular in nature and will feature various core components. The key system components include login module, in which it manages authentication and role-based access for admin and staff users. Second one is the dashboard module. It displays summaries of demographics, resident count, and issued documents. The third one is households and residents module. It handles adding, updating, deleting, and searching resident and household records. The fourth module is complaints and incidents module. It logs, tracks, and updates complaints and incident reports, including resolution status. The fifth module is Documents and Certificates module. It generates official documents using templates that autofill resident data. Lastly, the User Profile module that allows users to view and update their account details. System Users module that can be accessed by the admin only, and it enables admin to manage user accounts, view login history, and monitor activity for secure access control. This system is built specifically for Barangay Malagasang 2F only. It won't be integrated with external systems and is intended for internal use only. The data will be stored locally on the barangay's computers, which ensures control but also means it won't be accessible online or through cloud services. Next is the significance of the study. The Barangay Management System for Barangay Malagasang 2F in Imus City, Cavite is designed to provide the following benefits to the key stakeholders. First one is the barangay captain. The system will offer the barangay captain a tool that enhances the management of barangay affairs, benefiting both the barangay officials and residents, ultimately improving overall governance. Second one is for the barangay secretary. The system will provide the barangay secretary with a user-friendly interface, streamlining tasks and increasing efficiency. Next one is Barangay Lupon. This project will ensure the security and the confidentiality of cases for Barangay Lupon while offering a more organized and accessible database for case management and retrieval. Next is for the residents. The system will provide residents with a faster, more reliable process for document issuance and case filing. Next is for the future researchers. This study will serve as a reference for future researchers, providing insights and additional information on system development processes, as well as documentation guidance for completing similar projects. Lastly is for the researchers. This study will serve as a challenge for the researchers gaining experience and developing a system fit for the barangay and its needs. Now let's head to the conceptual framework. This diagram shows how the different components of the system work together. At the core is the database, which stores all resident information, complaints, and document records. Each module, the dashboard, login system, complaint tracker, and others, interacts with this database in specific ways. For example, when a staff member logs a complaint, the system connects the report to the correct resident profile and tracks the resolution process. Similarly, when documents like barangay clearances are requested, the system pulls the necessary resident data and fills out the templates automatically. All of this is managed through a user interface built in Python using the Tkinter framework, designed to be user-friendly for the barangay staff. This framework guided our design and made sure each feature was built to solve a real problem found in the current manual system. Chapter 2: Review of Related Literature and Studies. We reviewed studies showing how information systems enhance accuracy and efficiency in local government units. Systems like MySQL and platforms developed using agile methodology support reliable, scalable, and responsive public services. These studies help us understand what tools are efficient and what challenges to expect when implementing a government related system. Our research builds on past works but takes it further by applying modern technologies like Python and MySQL, aligning with governance requirements and ensuring friendliness. It also features offline, streamlined, and centralized data management, which makes it highly practical for barangays with limited internet access. The insights from previous research help shape the core design and usability goal of our system. And that's it. Now let's head to the chapter 3, which is the methodology.
Hi, my name is Jericho Ordoñez, presenting Chapter 3, The Methodology. Research Design. The research design is employed for the study is a combination of developmental, qualitative, and quantitative research methods. The developmental research design is employed to allow researchers to systematically develop a functional and user-oriented solution by continuously gathering feedbacks from stakeholders and apply iterative improvements throughout the process. Qualitative research design is employed so that the requirements and the needs of the client can be gathered and analyzed to be used in the development of the system. It will also be utilized to evaluate the usability and effectiveness of the BMS based on the user experience. Quantitative research design is used in a descriptive manner to support and validate the findings of interviews and evaluation. These data are not intended for generalization or statistical analysis, but to strengthen the interpretation of the user feedback. System development. The computer unit used to develop the system must meet the following hardware and software specifications. At least Windows 7 and above is required for the software. The system required a desktop computer, a GMS router, at least 100 MB of free device space, at least 4 GB of RAM, and a hardware with Intel iCore 3 or higher. The system was created by the developers using Visual Studio Code, MySQL for the database system, and Google Docs for the documentation. The researchers use Agile methodology as a guide in developing the software. Agile methodology is the chosen method to use as it would allow flexibility and iterative approach to the project management. Onto the Agile development methodology. Here's a visual representation of it. Planning, where we plan what we do. Requirement analysis, where we get the requirement for the software that we'll be using. Designing, uh, basically designing the prototype. Implementation of the gathered information. Testing, and then deployment. Then after that, we will be planning again for the future development of the software. Requirement analysis. During the requirement gathering phase, the researchers identified key areas needing improvement in Barangay Malagasang 2F: resident records, complaints and incidents, document issuance, and data retrieval. Currently, resident data is stored across Excel and Word files with physical backups. Complaints are only kept in hard copies, making retrieval difficult due to the lack of searchable digital system. Document issuance also faced delays, as staff manually inputs resident details into templates and track them via logbook. These fragmental and manual process highlight the need for a centralized digital system to streamline operations, improve record access, and enhance service delivery. System design. The section outlines the overall design of the barangay management system, focusing on how various components interact to fulfill the system's intended functions. The diagrams provided aims to illustrate how the system handles tasks such as managing residents, handling complaints, and generating documents. All will serve as a guide in implementing the proposed system. This is the visual representation of the system architecture. We have the login module where we have the login, and under that we have the determined user role where we have two, admin and staff. So the admin has the system user module where they could edit the shared system modules. And under the shared system modules, we have five. We have the dashboard module, household and residence module, complaint and incidents module, documents and certificate module, and user profile module. And connected to it is the database. Implementation plan. Here you could see the timeline of the commence operation. So as you can see, feasibility study and title proposal started on March 2, 2025 and ended April 2, 2025. The requirement analysis started March 25 and ended March 8. System planning, April 2, the completion date of the feasibility study, and it ended April 16. System design started at the end of the system planning, which is April 16, and ended May 22. The final pitching will happen June 2025 and will be completed in June 2025. System testing, A. Unit testing. The researchers will be testing each individual module to confirm that each function performed correctly in isolation. B. Integration testing. After confirming the stability of individual modules, the researchers will test how these components interact. C. System testing. The researchers will then test the complete system in simulated operational environment. And the user acceptance testing, also called UAT, to be to determine if the system is suitable for deployment. A simplified evaluation will be conducted using a Likert scale approach to acquire the views of and feedback to the system. System evaluation interview. The developers will utilize a technology acceptance model or TAM. It will be determined to what the clients perceive as useful and perceive as ease of use. In this phase, developers will interview the clients to acquire data for the system's implementation and evaluation for its usability. Then we have the questionnaire. The developers will utilize a Likert scale. This is to better understand what is necessary and what is not for the system's easement. In this phase, the developers will survey questions about the system's process and flow. The survey's purpose is to learn about the user's or system's benefits, feedbacks, and system evaluation results. Note that the questionnaire is only utilized to further support the findings of the initial evaluation done through the interviews. And that's it. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you have a wonderful day.
Hello, so good day, sir. So my name is Jana Mikaella Dulog, and I will be the one who to present the prototype of our barangay management system. So our barangay management system is named iBarangay, and it is a management system or barangay management system for Malagasang 2F. So to begin, since we have an objective to have a level of access or restricted access for the users of our BMS, we have the login module. So, of course, to be able to get into the system or have access to the system, you need to have your login credentials. So, without proper credentials, you will not be able to enter the dashboard. So, in our login module, there are two roles that they accept. So there is an automatic feature here which checks if the account is an admin account or a staff account. So for example, here in this presentation and what I'm showing, I am logging in as an admin with the admin account or admin password. But for example, I could change this username to a staff account's username, for example, Jana Dulog as my staff account and the following password for that. Then I will be able to log in and be redirected to the staff version or staff dashboard of our system. But since we are going to be logging in as the admin, later on we will be able to get into the dashboard of the admin. So before we go into the dashboard module and show the difference between the staff and the admin, we will first show this feature called forgot password. So what do you do when you forget your password? So what we did is for this prototype, if you were to click this forgot password, you will be redirected to this window. So a window will pop up and it will show this text or this window that says enter mobile to generate OTP. So every account of a user has a mobile account. So they have to enter their mobile so that they will be able to so the system can send a OTP to their mobile number. So this will only work, of course, if the mobile number is existing and is active. So this feature will be utilizing an APA, an SMS APA, for it to work. So upon clicking send code and the and checking that the number is correct, it will be redirected to this window or like a pop-up box saying to enter the code sent. And once you have clicked verify and the code is actually valid, you will and the code is valid and the time is valid as well, you will be redirected to the reset password. So you'll just enter your new password and then confirm your password. It will automatically check what account that is based from the number that you have entered. So next, we will be proceeding to what dashboard you'll get into if you were the admin. So logging in as an admin, you will see the dashboard showing all the summaries of within the database of the system. So you'll be able to see on the top right saying welcome back admin, and then all of on the left you will see all the navigation buttons to our modules. So for the admin, we have 5 modules. We have the dashboard, barangay inhabitants, complaints and incidents, documents and certificates, and finally manage system users. So for the admin, the only difference that it has with the staff dashboard is the feature or the module manage system users. So only the admin has this. So now I will show the dashboard of the staff so that you'll see the difference here. So if you were to log in as the staff, this is the dashboard you'll be into or you'll get into. And take note that all of the navigations for any windows or any modules will have the same for the staff. Only these 4. And of course, same content and same functionalities of the admin. Like all of the modules shown, it will function the same as the admin. The only difference with the admin dashboard is the added module, which is manage system users. So because it has mostly the same features or same functionalities as the admin, we will focus on the admin version of our system. Because again, the only difference is the module, the manage system module. So next, again, we'll go back to the admin module. This is the Barangay Inhabitants module. So this is what you'll see first when you open up this second module below the dashboard. So you'll see a search bar here and a table containing the contents of a household. So upon opening, you will only see the household view first. So you will see the household ID, the household head, the household address, the barangay, and city. So it's like a summary about the household and the number of members within that household. But if you want to see the residents within that household, like as you can see it at the top of the table, it says click a household to view residents. So you will click a row, and upon clicking a row, you will be redirected into this window, which shows all the residents that resides in that household. As you can see, it says residents of the Duterte household, and you will see all of the residents residing there. And this is mostly a summary, as you can see here. This is not the full information within this residence. So if you want to see all the information about the residents with their households, we go back to our households page by clicking the back button. We'll go back here, and you will click the Manage Households and Residents button at the bottom here. Once you open that, you will be directed to this window. So in this window, you can see on the top of the again, we have a search bar here to search the residents. It can search the name, the address. Based on that, you can search on whatever. So as you can see here, we have the click resident row to edit. So if you click a row, what will happen is all the information of that row that you click will pop up on the form below. So this was the form. There we go. So when you click a row, all the information will pop up here to be edited. There are certain uh, bars that cannot be edited anymore, such as like there's things that cannot be edited anymore. So yeah, so that we have here. But before we go to this form, let's go back here to see the actual table. So for this table, you'll see all the, it's like a master list, or not really a master list, but like it's a master of all the details within about a household or a resident. It will say the name, it's their name, their household, their role in the household. So that's what you'll see here. So when you want to add a resident, you can see here, you will fill up this resident form. So you'll have to fill up the last name and all the other fields here. And as you can see here, we have the civil status and the role. This is the important thing here, the role and the household address. So the role, you can set a role for the for the resident as head or member. So if they are the head of household, their name will be the one to pop up in the households page right here. It's their name that will pop up as the household head if you were to put that uh, resident as the head. And also, only one uh, resident can be head of household. So that's take note. So for the household address here, there's going to be like a drop down of all the existing households or household address in the database. So if you were to add a new resident and and their household does not exist yet, or you haven't input their household yet, you're going to have to do that in a different form. So what form will be used to create a household? Here, when you go back to the Manage Residents page, you'll see a Manage Households button. When you go to Manage Households, you will see all the households that you only have. So for this demo, for this prototype, you only have one household here. So when I've created this household, I can put residents into that household because this household address will now pop up on the drop down of the household address here in the form. So without an existing household, of course, there will be no data to put there. So it's all automatic. And once you have added a new household here, household address, and all the information, you'll be able to add a resident into that household. So as you can see in the forms that we have, always have the add, update, delete, and clear form. So it always works the same that if you click a row, you can update or delete that because it will automatically fill in the form. But if you were to add, of course, the form spaces or the entry forms will always stay blank. So if you want to clear all the information, then you can just click clear form button here. So when you do any, or if you click any of these buttons, it will confirm or have a text that says like if the information is correct, if the information is missing, it will always have that feature. So now let's proceed to our next module, which is the complaints and incidents module. So once going to this complaints and incidents module, you'll see all the pending cases, ongoing cases, resolved cases, and postponed cases. So all of this on top is the status of our cases. So in complaints and incidents module, you'll see it's basically used for tracking of our cases. So as you can see here in the table, you'll see the case ID, the case name, the complainant, the type of case that we're filing and when it was filed, and whether the status is pending, resolved, postponed, or ongoing. So this is all we have here. So what you can do here, see the status. When you click the cell of the status, when you click the status cell, you are the staff or the user is has access to change the status of the case here. So it's very easy to change the case. But of course, before changing a case, a dialog box will show up to say that are you sure to change this, so that we have like a secondary checking if you're sure to edit something. And of course, we have the save button here to save all the changes made in the table that we have here. So when we want to file a new complaint or to edit a new complaint, we have here manage complaints button. The manage complaints display or window. So for here, as the same as all the forms or the tables we have, because all of the things we did is very standardized, we have the same process for all of the tables and editing, and the crude methods are all standardized. So it's basically the same. So it's easier for the user to navigate and use it. So as you can see, you can also click a case to delete because you cannot edit the cases anymore, because the only thing you're going to be editing here is the status. So, and you can edit the status in the main page anyway. So as you can see here, complainant name, it's a drop down, and the respondent name is a drop down because all of these things will come from the resident database in the first place. So you will get from the existing residents in our database. And we have the complaint types, which is also, there's also a list that we have, and the case name. So the case name can be edited. It is a bar chart, and the description. We can add like whatever description. For example, a stolen vehicle was done this day, stuff like that. So upon submitting, it will create a new entry in the table, and you'll have your new complaint. So upon creating a new complaint, the status will automatically become pending unless it was to be changed in the main page. So yes. So next we have the documents and certificates module. Here we have the documents and certificates module. So here we have the document type and all the other information that is needed for a certain document. So, for example, we have here the document type barangay clearance. All this information like purpose, resident good moral character, stuff like that. This is dynamic, which means that they change depending on what the document type is. What I mean by that, let me show you another version of this. For example, my document type is certificate for file of action. This is for cases, right? So the things below it, like this information is different, right? It has changed because the bottom part of the document type here is it's dynamic. It changes, the things that it's asking for changes depending on the document type that you have selected. So for barangay clearance, this is all that you're going to be needing, and for certificate for file of action, this is the things that it requires. So that's why it changes. So upon putting the information here, you will be generating. We click the generate button, and it will generate a PDF. So the PDF, why we use the PDF is so that you can view the document first before printing it. So we don't have an automatic print function, but you can print it manually you just click it. But everything that's being written, it's not written anymore, not typed anymore. Everything is automated. So that's the goal and that's the objective. So that's what we did for this prototype. So in this page as well, we have the view document history on the bottom right, this button. Upon clicking that, you will see all the records of the generated documents that we have. So this is done for uh, statistics purposes, or for seeing, like, for this month how many documents have been recorded, right, or have been generated. So it's good because, again, in the dashboard, as we seen before, we have a document generated this month. So that's a plus. That's that's the reason for this. So finally, we have the managed system users. So actually, not finally. So you have the managed system users. So, oh yeah, managed system users. So for this page, we have all the users, or this is the module that only the admin rather has access to. So the staff doesn't have access to this. Only the admins can have access to it. So in this module, the admin can see all of the users available. So as you can see, this is a user. The role is admin. The role can also be changed to staff. So how do you manage the users? So here we click on the manage system users, and again you will be sent to this. You can be sent to this window where you can see a table and says that double click cell to edit state. So you click on the cell of the state, and you can see that you can change it from active to inactive. So it makes it so that if you put inactive, the account cannot be used anymore. Like, you cannot open the barangay management system if your account is inactive. So it will have a confirm state change dialog box saying change state from active to inactive. So that's how it's going to work. And for manage system users, so if you want to create, the admin has to be the one creating the accounts, because of course we want this secure process or security within our system. So we'll create a username, full name, and contact number, and the role of our user. So it can be admin or a staff. And then you can add or clear form. And that's it. So next, we have the profile. So this profile can be accessed if you click the profile button on the top right, if you can see right there. Yeah. So you can access this, which gives you no, which allows you to edit the information that you have. So for example, as an admin, I put a username but didn't put the full name of a of like I didn't put my full name, or I didn't put that because you can that's nullable in the database. So as you can see here, what if I wanted to change my full name, my contact number, and because the contact number is no longer active. So this is how you change it. You click on the edit profile button, and here you can see that you can edit the admin full name and contact number, but the role you cannot change, because of course the only you can change that in the managed system users. You can't change the role either. So that's that. So again, I want to thank you for listening to the prototype, or explain the prototype. So this is the prototype for our barangay management system. Thank you again for watching.